After this election, I have this to say to the leaders of the Republican Party, the grand old party. You have lost your way. You have cared not about your reputation as the party for rich, old white men. While your words as a party seem sincere, your actions have fallen short. It is time for a new Republican Party. A Republican Party where we lead by actions, where fresh, new, young ideas lead the way. It is strange that you seem to have either forgotten or ignored the stances of the party that worked for so long, but have chosen to hold fast and force the policies that have not. We need leaders that will do the right thing, even if you do not personally benefit from those actions. We the people don't trust you, and therefore do not respect you when you complain about how broken the system is, and then use the system for your personal gain. And that is why the American people do not vote for you. How long will you simply rely on claiming the other party is worse than you, and expect that the American people will just vote for you out of fear? It is no longer acceptable to be the party with the only other option, or the better of two evils. Are you honestly okay with that? The Republican Party needs to provide the best option for voters. No, I correct myself, because that's also part of the problem. Politicians only think about the voter during an election, but once the election is done, the people that hired you don't seem to matter. It is no longer good enough to have leaders who stand on their principles. It is time for leaders who act on their principles. The American people want and deserve a party who will truly be honest in your actions as much as your words. We want politicians who are truly of the people. If you are an old rich white man, instead of deciding to run for office yourself, realize if you are out of touch with the normal everyday American, you need to find young conservatives and show them what true conservatism can do. Get behind them. Be there for support. Guide them without overshadowing them. You seem more interested in arguing and gridlock with your opponents as opposed to working on the common ground you share while acting on virtuous and steadfast principles. You seem to feel as if people should just know you are the right party for the job. As long as you can outspend the other candidate in ads, that should be enough to win this election. Forgive me, I missed a step. The GOP establishment will only spend money on candidates that you think have a better chance at winning, or a candidate who's part of the good old boys club, and leave smaller Republican candidates to fend for themselves. You claim to be for women, but you get so caught up arguing about abortion and birth control that you don't have time to help them get equal pay at their job. You say you are for younger generations, but are just as guilty as the Democrats about approving spending that will crush mine and future generations. Why should we have to pay for your screw-ups and poor decisions? You say you are for family values, but yet you are constantly caught up in gay scandals and marital affairs. You say that you are for taking care of the elderly and war veterans, but just as guilty of raiding Social Security and other programs to pay for your pet projects. You say you're for education, but you have let the liberal mind not just infiltrate, but saturate our schools at every level. You say you're for states' rights, but yet you vote to expend federal government overreach every time it's convenient for you. You say you are against fraud and wasteful spending, and yet you ask for earmarks, pork barrel spending, and waste our money just as much as those other guys. I don't have all of the answers, but I'm smart enough and humble enough to understand and admit that. It's time for our principles and virtues to be reintroduced in fresh, new ways. It's time for a new Republican Party.